Hello and welcome to another exciting episode of the Cheap Dragon Show. I'm Frugalmax, the Cheap Dragon. Yeah. So a while back, we did some homemade 3D dungeon tiles that were made on hexagons with slightly stylized hexy spaces, but we ran into this thick foam core stuff and we thought, wow, that would be great for doing the more grid-based dungeon tiles. So, on today's episode, we are going to jump right into more 3D dungeon tiles for your games.
We brought you some piles of
this?
gems and gold.
Oh, gems and gold, how nice. Dragons always like gems and gold. They hide them in their dungeons. And
Yes.
who are you? Luba, recently of water ski fame.
Saturday, what a day, moving all week with you.
Okay, hello.
Yeah.
Welcome, Luba. And thank you for bringing the gems and gold. So, as I was saying...
Of course!
Oh, it's Booba! Making a surprise appearance. We were just going to talk about more 3D dungeon tiles for your games.
Yay!
Yes. To make these dungeon tiles, we found some thick...
Bananas!
I don't recommend using bananas for dungeon tiles. Definitely not the material of choice if you want your dungeon tiles to last. But you do whatever works for you. Maybe those candied hard bananas would work for stepping stones. Let's watch!
Banana.
To make these cheap 3D dungeon tiles, we're going to need some sort of ruler. This one is a square. That'll make life a little easier, but you just need a ruler, some sort of marker, a knife, some paints, Mod Podge, or glue. You can just use white glue and water, PVA glue, a couple of cheap paintbrushes. That should be it. This was a piece of thick foam core that one of my kids brought home that they didn't want to use, so I did it as the experimental piece. But then I saw that there is also this thick foam core with a thin layer of cork on it, and I thought, well, that might make life easier with the texture portion.
Ooh, there it is, the thick foam core with cork. That's the good stuff, I guess. Each of these foam core boards measures something like 20 inches by 30 inches, so you can get quite a few tiles out of just one.
Doing some test pieces with the cork side up, comparing that to the original one that I did that didn't have cork on the foam core. I decided I liked the original better with the just sort of peeled paper side up. For like flagstones, regular flagstone type things, I think this looks better. So the way to do these is you turn your foam core over. Of course, if you don't buy the stuff with cork on it, you're off to a cheaper start. And peel the paper.
Let's just start cutting up foam and see how these turn out.
Do you want to line up the zero?
It's always good to employ some helpers, especially if you don't have to pay them.
And just draw a line, a guideline.
If you're building the inside of a castle or dungeon, it is perfectly acceptable to have squares on the ground. So yes, the cutting into the squares. Always be careful with the sharp knives, and if you have small kids, let them do it for you. That's how you learn. Build character through small incisions in your fingertips.
What we can do, we don't have to do this, but this is an optional step. With the pen, you could draw some cracks in the stones. And you sort of want to push down hard so it leaves a dent. So what I use is a combination of black paint and this stuff called Mod Podge, which is basically just glue and water.
Here we see the child labor at work again in the painting department.
Get in the cracks for me, please.
So one technique to get in the cracks is to use the end of the bristles, like that, because they'll get down there a little bit better. Alright, so then these push pins will help hold what we put on top above it so it can dry, but also will put some weight down.
So one issue you have to deal with when using foam core is the tendency to warp when you put paint on them or glue, and it dries. It also shrinks, pulling the painted side of your tile in and warping it so it doesn't lay flat. There are different ways to deal with this, from rigging up a system to hold it flat while it dries, or painting the other side to warp it back, or just break the foam along the tile lines. As long as the paper or cork on the other side stays intact, that works fine.
Like that, and hopefully that will keep our stuff from warping while it dries.
It's nice to use some different colors on the tiles, so they're not all just that stone gray.
I want to put some other colors kind of underneath it. So washing means taking a watery color. We'll use this brush and some water and mix it up really thin and watery, and then putting that over.
I want to do that.
Alright, dry brush time.
Dry brushing is when you get a little bit of paint on the brush and wipe most of it off, and then you rub it all over the thing to bring out the highlights or blend things together.
So after a final coat of dry brushing, the tiles are basically done. You can clean up the edges with more black paint or whatever.
Yeah, they could use some cleanup. A little sloppy.
And then just using some of the extra offcuts, pieces of foam and whatnot, I made these little door segments that could fit the Hero Quest doors. That's just because I happen to have those doors, but you can do them any size. Here's one that's 2 squares wide versus 1 square wide.
Oh look, he can add.
And they just give an indication of where the doors are, where the walls are, and that sort of thing. And then I also made some using those ones that I didn't really like where they left the cork on top. I tried some experiments putting water as if it's a sewer or just a flooded portion of the dungeon. So you can do a lot when you have a little bit of depth that you can cut into there. I also made these staircase pieces just out of foam offcuts that can just be used to create entrances or exits. Oh, and I forgot, with the staircases and the walls, I actually covered them with a bit more than just Mod Podge. I mixed some plaster of Paris into the mix just to give it kind of a tougher, stonier feel.
Let's see how these things work in the games. Oh, little furniture. Little furniture goes a long way to three-dimensionality. What is it?
Gold! Ah!
Well, there you have it.
All right.
One $9 or $10 sheet of thick foam core, maybe $10 or $15 of various art supplies, some child labor, as usual, and poof, dungeon tiles, ready to be packed away in a nice shoebox and forgotten. Until next time, if there is a next time, I'm Frugalmax. Don't spend too much. Bye. Okay, anyway, let's look at the making of...
Yeah!
Ah! Sorry, dragon fight. You guys, you get... Ah! Who hired these dragons?
I did.
Yeah, wait a minute. Nobody is in charge of this show.